welcome to the official draw for the 2020 NAF Virtual 5-Star Eventing. Now, if you're watching this, then there's a pretty good chance that you already know what this is all about. But if not, it's a brilliant idea dreamt up by those clever people at Uptown Eventing, designed to try to raise as much money as possible for the NHS in the UK and for frontline health workers all over the world. Now, it is eventing, but not quite as we know it. It's eventing lockdown styly. So we do have dressage, we have real sport for you. Those 50 riders from all over the world are going to be doing an elite 5-star dressage test. But then they're going to be doing some fun cross-country and show jumping, but not on their horses, on their feet, on bicycles maybe. So it's definitely going to be worth watching for you. Now, I'm not obviously at a stately home. I'm not in the Babington Village Hall. I'm just at my yard with a couple of dogs and some hairy ponies hiding back there. So this isn't quite the kind of 5-star setting for you, but we do have a 5-star commentator. Spencer Sturmey is going to be helping me out with the draw, and he joins me from his sitting room. So Spencer, are you ready?
I'm ready to go. I've got my glass of wine. I hope you've got yours charged as well, wherever you're watching.
Okay, let's get started then with the draw to decide the dressage order for the NAF Virtual 5-Star. I have a nice clean feed bucket with 50 table tennis balls. Each one has a number on. That number correlates with the bridle number of the 50 entries. Spencer has that list. I'm going to read out. I'm going to pull out a number. Spencer's going to tell us which rider goes first. So here we go. First then, to compete in the dressage in the NAF Virtual 5-Star is number 2.
Well, number 2, Lizzie, thank you very much, is for Australia. One of 4 riders for Australia. It's Warren Lampard. Warren riding the lovely little grey mare, Sylvia. They've competed in many 5-stars around the world, but they will be a very popular first-time Virtual 5-Star entry down the centre line.
And no one wants to go first, do they, Spencer? Even in virtual eventing, who wants to be first on day one? Here we go. It's number 35. It's second to go.
So 35 of the 50. 11 nations represented here. And it is the only rider from New Zealand is Joe Meyer. Joe riding the very experienced Clip Clop. And of course, Joe rode at those Olympics in 2008 in Beijing.
And the reason we don't have very many New Zealanders is, like a lot of riders actually, Spencer, they weren't allowed to compete because their federation said they couldn't.
Yeah, I mean, there have been restrictions, government restrictions, federational restrictions, but it's great to see we've still got a stellar field here for the very first inaugural running of the NAF 5-Star Virtual Eventing.
Next up is number 7.
So number 7 will be third to go, and that is Arthur Chabert. Arthur riding Goldsmiths Imber. And they were 17th at their first 5-star debut at Burley last year.
Next, we have number 34.
Number 34. So fourth out down the centre line is our only rider from the Netherlands. It's Andy Heffernan. And of course, Andy been to many Olympic Games, and he's riding the Experience Tours. But I think the first time at 5-star level for this combination, he rides Gideon.
Okay. Good luck to them. Now we have number 4.
Number 4. This is our only rider from Brazil. Very popular rider based in the UK for a number of years now. Carlos Parro. And Carlos is riding Goliath.
Next up, it is number 19.
Number 19. No. 19. Michael Earn. Michael riding Bradley Law for the Jennings Syndicates. And of course, Jane Jennings, the breeder of Bradley Law. They've been a very good, solid partnership. Former ride of Mary Lofthouse. Michael Earn for Great Britain. Bradley Law will be 6th out.
Next, we have number 27.
Number 27, this is Georgie Spence. Georgie riding the very experienced campaigner, and she finished 4th at the test event in Tokyo last year. She's riding Halltown Harley.
And I guess they would have definitely been at one of the 5-stars this year, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, as a number of these riders were. It's a difficult time for a lot of these riders. We still don't know whether the autumn events are going ahead. They have to have the prep runs. They're just keeping these horses ticking over for the time being.
Now we have number 46.
46. Well, this is an interesting combination, and one that I've watched a lot, and it's Caroline Clark. Caroline Touch Too Much, owned by Caroline herself and Penny Clark, retired on their 5-star debut at Burley last year, but certainly a combination that are for the future.
It's number 1.
Number 1. Well, this is a very, very experienced rider. They've competed at 5-star before. They were 12th in the 5-star at Adelaide in Australia last year. Australian-based Sarah Clark, and she rides LV Baloo Jeans, this 10-year-old. So Australia are in there. We've got 11 nations, I said. We've got some really, really good top-class riders.
Next to go, it is number 50.
Number 50, we go from one end of the scale to the other. So 50 is Tom Crisp, part-time fireman, and he is, he's an incredible rider. He was team silver medalist at the 1999 Young Rider European Championships. He rides Robin Balfour, who was the breeder of Liberty and Glory, and his wife, Sophie Crisp, 13-year-old Liberty and Glory for Great Britain.
Thank you, Spencer. Next to go, it is number 28.
So we go back up. Gemma Tattersall, Gemma, very experienced. She's been to a number of Olympic Games. She rides the Pebbles Syndicate, Quick Look the 5th. Now, this is a really, really interesting combination. And this mare, team gold medalist, of course, from the World Equestrian Games back in 2018, Gemma Tattersall will be 11th to go.
Oh, they must be one of the favourites for you, aren't they, Spencer?
Certainly are. I've got a few favourites on my list, but I'm sure when we get closer to that first day of dressage, we will have a bit of a, I'll put a 50p bet down with you, Lizzie.
I'm not sure I'm going to take that. Right, we have number 20 next.
So 20, 12th to go. This is Hector Payne, Hector riding Dynasty, owned by Jeremy and Judith Skinner, David and Margie Hall. And this is with his 2018 Burley Campaigner, Dynasty.
Rummaging around the bucket. Okay, we have number 12 next.
So we go to number 12. That is one of the, if not the most experienced riders in this 50-strong field. A 14-time 5-star winner. He has won pretty much everything there is to win. It's William Foxpitt, and he rides the oldest horse in the field, 20 years old, owned by the Honourable Teresa Stopford Sackville, the 2010 Kentucky 5-star winner, Cool Mountain.
And this is the beauty of virtual eventing, is that you can bring out your old 5-star winners, can't you? It doesn't matter if they're 20. So long as they're still moving, you can do a decent test. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like with Cool Mountain. Right, next to go. Oh, they're sticking together. Number 48.
Number 48. Yeah, it is interesting, Lizzie, what you say. You know, we've got 3 9-year-olds and we've got a 20-year-old, and it's a broad spectrum of ages across the board. And why not bring them out for this 5-star eventing? Well, number 48 is 14th to go, and that would be Meg Kepfel. She rides Anakin, owned by the Rogue One Syndicate. First 5-star for this combination, representing the United States of America.
Next to go on day one of the dressage is number 43.
43. Sam Griffiths, former 5-star winner with this lovely mare. And this mare did win a 5-star back in 2014, I think it was, that Paul Ank-Brocker won that 5-star. So Sam Griffiths, another strong contender here for Australia.
Of course, yes, won Badminton, didn't it? An interesting year with Badminton there. Now, number 44 next.
Number 44. Well, one of the wild cards, 18-year-old Tom Bird, and he rides the experienced Parkfield Quintessential, former ride of Zoe Wilkinson, Laura Collett and Holly Woodshead, and he comes here as a wild card. We have 2 wild cards in this draw, so Tom Bird will be 16th out.
Next, it is number 16.
16. Oh, to remember those days. Yasmin Ingham, and Yasmin rides the very lovely former Pippa Funnel ride, Sandman 7. Yasmin, she has been on really good form. She was a former individual and team gold medalist from the Pony European Championships, and this is their 5-star debut as well.
Here we go. Next up, it's number 47.
47. So 47. Well, it's a very good combination. Louisa Lockwood. Louisa, she rides Diamond Ructions, owned by Bronwyn Jones and Ian Greer. 5-star debut for this combination. Of course, Louisa, very experienced 5-star rider. So she will be going out 18th of this first 25 on day one.
Well, the crowds are flocking to this draw for the NAF Virtual 5-star eventing. I've got both my children here now, both ponies, both dogs. So lots of people enjoying this. Number 26.
26th, 19th to go on day one. And 26th is, well, we go from one wild card, we go to the other. And this is the 17-year-old Archie Smith Maxwell. Archie riding Master Ping, owned by Richard and Wendy Coney. First time 5-star for Archie, who rides the former Ludwig Schwennestal. Ludwig also in this field. And also Richard Coney, who rode this horse. So he rides Master Ping for Great Britain. 14 years old is the horse. 17 years old is Archie.
After lunch now on the first day of dressage, isn't it? We've got number 29 next.
29, so 20th to go. This will be Holly Woodhead. Holly riding DHI Luxon, and DHI Luxon owned by Heidi and Ian Woodhead. Ridden at 2 Pony, 2 Young Rider, and 1 Senior European Championship. She rode at those European Championships at Blair Castle back in 2015.
And they should do a lovely test, shouldn't they?
Absolutely. She is so good on the flat. A number of these riders are. But Holly Woodhead got some very good training, of course, from Father Ian. And she's a very good girl.
Next to go, it is number 21.
21 and 21st to go. This is Katie Preston with Templar Justice, finishing 9th in the 4-star short at Gatcombe Park, the home of the Princess Royal last year. Katie Preston, being a 5-star rider, she was at Burley last year, and she'll be gunning for a great test here for this first inaugural running of the NAF 5-star Virtual Eventing.
Just a few to go then. Who is going to be 22nd? It is number 41.
41. Uh-oh. Well, that Lizzie is me. So that is me riding a little ginger horse called Billy the Red. May have heard of him. Went to European Championships with a great friend of mine, Tina Cook, last year. And Billy the Red, owned by Liz Murdoch and Keith Skinner, 7th at Badminton last year. And Christina's ride for those European Championships at Lemulan, 5-star debut for us.
So you've got a great horse there, Spencer, but I didn't think you were allowed to compete in the NAF Virtual
There's a few twists. There's a few twists here, Lizzie. A few twists.
So we'll have to wait and see if it is actually you on that horse or possibly somebody else. Well, we have to wait to be live streamed. So just remember this, day one of the live streaming is at the 7th. That's the 7th of May. Towards the end of the day, find out who really is number 41, because it can't be you, Spencer.
Well, you never know. We'll keep you on your toes.
Number 45 is next.
45, 23rd to go on day one. 45 is Hallie Coon for the United States of America. She rides Chilean. 3rd at Tallahassee over in the States in the 4-star short in March this year. So they managed to get an early 4-star short run in this year over in the States. And based over in America, Hallie Coon will be 23rd to go.
So a bit of an advantage for them, maybe. We shall see. Next up, number 33.
All the threes, 33. This is the only rider from Italy, Vittoria Panettone, and she's riding Checkers Play the Game, owned by Flora Hurrell, Amy and Patricia Lambert, Peter and Jan Price, 2-time Olympian from Beijing back in 2008, and of course London Games in 2012, and first-time 5-star for these two.
So how many more to go on day one? Is this the last one?
We have one more to go.
So the last rider on the first day of the dressage is number 42.
So number 42, last to go on day one, is for Great Britain, Lawrence Hunt. Lawrence riding Eclipse SB, owned by Jessica and Rose Loite. Lawrence finished 7th at the World Cup final in Malmo in Sweden a few years ago, and certainly no stranger to top-level competition.
Okay, so that concludes day one of the dressage, which is the 7th of May. Let's move on to day two. Who is going to be first to go on day two? Going to mix up the balls. It is number 8.
So first to go on the second day of dressage, the only rider from Germany, and that will be Annie Siemmer with Butts Avondale, and they were 13th at European Championships in Lemulan last year. Anna will be first to go, number 8 on day 2.
I was there. I watched her around. Very good rider there. Now, number 25 next.
25. So just moving down this list. Sarah Way. Sarah riding the lovely little dun, Daciet Cooley Dun, owned by Kate Willis and Mel Pritchard. 10th at Pau in the 5-star over in France at the base of the Pyrenees last year. And everybody, I'm sure you do, everybody loves a dun, Lizzie.
Everyone loves a dun and a skew board. I've got one of those. Not many of those eventing though. Right, number 37 next.
37 and 28th to go, 3rd to go on day 2. For the United States of America, it is Hannah Sue Burnett riding Luke Swell. And this 15-year-old, first 5-star together as a combination. But Hannah Sue is an incredibly accomplished rider over in the States.
And she's been over here quite a bit as well, competing, hasn't she, Spencer? But again, the advantage of virtual eventing is she can do her dressage at home and just send us the video. So it's a nice way of including all these different nations.
Absolutely. And as we said, 11 nations represented here. And we've got so many of them from abroad that usually come and base themselves here in the UK. They can do it in the comfort of their own garden now.
Money, just to remind you, if you're watching, of course, that the money is going towards not just the NHS here in the UK, but also to frontline health workers all over the world. If you have a look at the website, virtualeventing.com, you can see exactly where all the money's going to be going. So dig deep if you can. We know these are difficult times, but try to give if you can. Right, next to go, it's number 40.
So number 40 is Matt Heath. Matt riding Ascari, riding for Plum Rowland. Matt, a very seasoned campaigner. He of course rode the Lion around a number of 5-stars. Ascari not competed at 5-star level yet. This will be their first time at this level.
The next to go will be number 36.
So this is our only rider from Sweden. We mentioned him before. It is Ludwig Spennestal, and Ludwig riding Stinger, double Olympian from London 2012 and Rio 2016. And he was 8th at Burghley with Stinger last year. And
a great producer of horses, Ludwig.
Amazing. Based at Gatcombe Park, he produces so many fantastic young horses, and he's a great guy. A lot of hair, but a great guy.
He's a dude, isn't he? Right, who's next? It's number 3.
So number 3, 31st to go, and they will be 6th to go on day 2. Another rider based in Australia, it's Megan Jones. Megan with Kirby Park Impress. 2nd at Adelaide with this horse back in 2017, team silver medalist from Beijing. And she won Adelaide 5-star, one of only 4 riders in this field to win a 5-star previously.
Can they win this virtual NAF 5-star? We shall see. Number 38 is next.
So up next is another rider from the United States of America, Catherine Coleman. She rides Global X, former Brian Morrison from Ireland ride, and a new partnership formed at the end of last year. And certainly this will be a test for them, first 5-star.
Number 23.
23. Well, Kylie Roddy. Kylie, a very popular figure on the eventing circuit. She rides the Earl Grey Tea Party Goers Cardinal Grey, 5-star, first time for this former young rider gold medalist.
Then we have number 13. Unlucky for some. Who's number 13?
Yeah, unlucky for some, but this girl, she has all the luck on her side because she had an incredible 2019 season. It's Nikki Hill, Nikki with MGH Bingo Boy, finishing 27th at Burghley last year. They are no strangers to 5-star. She's a really quick rider on the cross country. Of course, we don't have mounted cross country here for virtual 5-star. It's all going to come down to the dressage.
She'd be a quick runner on the cross country.
It may well be if her horses are anything to go by. Yes.
Right, it's number 49 next.
So 49 is Caroline Harris. Caroline riding Jonathan Ford's Woodland Springtime, 5-star debut for this combination. Caroline has had another one to have a very good 2019 season. And this is the hard thing. A lot of them had fantastic previous year, that they are all just now stuck at home with nothing to do. So this is giving them, and also grooms who are getting a little bit bored, walking the same 4 walls, giving them something to do and get their teeth into. And my goodness me, we can't wait.
You're not just raising loads of money for good causes, but also keeping us all occupied, I guess, isn't it? Right, number 30 is next.
Number 30. This is Abby Bolton. Abby riding her mother Lucy Bolton's Tilston TikTok. A girl that has been around a number of 5-stars. She certainly paved her way around Burghley. She first rode at her very first Burghley back in 2015 when she was just in her very early 20s. So Abby Bolton will be 36th of the 50-strong field with the campaigner now. He's 18 years old, Tilston TikTok for Great Britain.
Right, number 5 next.
Number 5. Well, for France, and of course we've got a number of French contingent here, is Thomas Carlyle. He rides the wonderful Bremain. And Bremain is a horse that we've been watching closely. Fantastic in the whiteboards of the dressage. He, of course, Tom, team bronze medalist from the 2015 European Championships up at Blair Castle in the UK. I'm really looking forward to him. And as I said, there's a few that I've got on my radar. Bremain will be one of those.
I think he will do a good test. I'm looking forward to seeing that too. He's a really promising rider. Okay, it's number 6.
And number 6, we stay with France, and it's Sébastien Cavaillon with Sarah Dargouge. This combination 11th at Burghley in the 5-star last year in 2019. So Sébastien, he follows his French teammates. Thomas Carlyle, Sébastien Cavaillon will be 38th to go.
The bucket is emptying out. We give it a bit of a move around. Right, number 32 is next.
So moving down this list, 32. Well, this is one of the real personalities of the world of eventing. It is Fred Scala for Ireland. 2 riders from Ireland. Fred Scala is riding the lovely 11-year-old Cormac Vivendi. Everon Vivendi now is his name because they've changed the prefix as they can do. First 5-star for these two. Fred Scala for Ireland.
That sounds like a commentator's nightmare, that name, actually.
Yeah.
Number 11, legs 11 next.
Legs 11. Well, Will Furlong, legs 11. Will Furlong, he rides Collier P2. No strangers to 5-stars, owned by the Acorn Syndicate. He is one of the very best riders across the country, and will be very much looking forwards to competing here. Will Furlong for Great Britain, Collier P2.
Number 31.
31. So we've had one rider from Ireland, Fred Scala. This is the second Olympian, Joseph Murphy. Joseph is here at this virtual 5-star riding Caesar V. He, of course, rode in those 2012 Olympic Games, and this will be a 5-star debut for these two as a combination.
Number 22. Is that 2 Fat Ducks?
I think it is. Yes, I think it is. 2 Fat Ducks. Will Rawlin up next. Will riding VIP Vinny, owned by Andy and Miranda Rawlin, winner of the 3-star short at Bicton in Devon last year. So Will Rawlin for Great Britain will be 42nd to go.
It's number 9.
Number 9. Well, we go to one of the favourites, I would say. The winner of Buccolo, 4-star long last year, a member of the European Championship team. She was right there up after the dressage. Sadly parted company at the little coloured bird in the water at those European Championships. It's Laura Collett. Laura riding Karen Bartlett, Keith Scott, and her own lovely, stunning 11-year-old now, London 52.
And of course, Spencer, they would have had a good chance of getting on the British team. And if that hadn't worked out, they would have probably been at Badminton or Burghley. So this is cruel. Sounds the wrong way of describing it when the whole thing is cruel, the whole disease is cruel. But this is really tough on sports people, isn't it?
It is really tough because the horses are getting another year older, and we look forwards to, again, in these uncertain times. But we have got London 52 prepped, I think, for Tokyo 2021, and they can, they're just going to get better and better. They are a class act.
Well, fingers crossed. Right, it is number 10 next.
So Laura Collett would be followed by Kirsty Chabert, of course, former Kirsty Johnson. She's married to Arthur Chabert. Kirsty running Classic the Stick, British bred by John Johnson. Carol Sommers, owner, and making their 5-star debut last year at Po, finishing 24th.
6 left. We're nearing the end of day 2 then of the draw of the dressage. It is number 18 next.
So 18. This is Julia Norman. Julia riding Joblest van Berrehof. 5-star debut for Julia Norman and the now 11-year-olds. Great Britain.
17.
Number 17, 46 to go. We're getting right down the list. D. Kennedy, Checkers Playboy for Great Britain. 18-year-old Checkers Playboy. He's been a great campaigner for Dia. Of course, you may remember, if you don't Google it, why don't you Google it? Well, she was a former band member, band member from the band Paper Dolls. She's a good singer.
I look forward to seeing her doing her cross country and her show jumping with her bicycle and running. Right, it's number 15 next.
15, the lady in pink from Leicestershire, based up in Leicestershire, Emma Hislop-Webb, with the 17-year-old Waldo III. Emma, no stranger to 5-star, and she'll be looking forward to competing here.
Number 14.
Number 14, 1-4, Ginny Howe. Ginny with Undolgo de Windsor for Great Britain, 12 years old, team gold medalist from the 2007 Young Rider European Championships. That was up at Blair Castle. Ginny has ridden at 5-star, and this will be their first time riding at the virtual 5-star for 2020.
The penultimate rider to go in the dressage on day 2 is number 39.
So number 39, and as you said, Lizzie, second last to go. Boyd Martin for the USA with Tetzeleg, the Olympian from 2012, and Rio, American-based. And Boyd Martin for the USA will be second last to go. So, Lizzie, drum roll. Who is last to go?
There's one ball left in the bucket, and it is number 24.
Number 24, the last to go of the 50, will be Tom Rowland. Tom riding Naomi Watkins, very good tempo, 8th in the 4-star short at Ballindennis over in Ireland last year, and they'll be making their 5-star debut here.
Well, that concludes the official draw for the 2020 Virtual Eventing, the NAF 5-star Virtual Eventing competition. Spencer's got his wine there. He's done brilliantly. Thank you very much, Spencer. Spencer, can you tell me who your favourites might be? Actually, I think I might have an idea, but who do you think is going to be the sort of top 10 after the 2 days of dressage?
Look, I mean, we've got a really strong field of competitors and some amazing horses in the dressage phase, but certainly up there, and I can't wait to see Thomas Carlyle and Bermain. Laura Collett, London 52. I mean, they've got to be one of the strongest. Cool Mountain, William Fox Pitt, always produces a solid performance in the whiteboards of the dressage. But let's not ever rule out any of our overseas competitors, because we've got a strong field from Australia, strong field from the United States, and they, I'm sure, they don't want to go down without a fight, and they're going to be practicing.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing what Cool Mountain looks like. Age 20, obviously a 5-star winner himself in the past as well, with William Fox Pitt on board. That should be quite an interesting one for us to watch. Thank you, Spencer. You've been amazing. Thank you to all our sponsors. You can find out much more about it at our website, virtualeventing.com. And you can join us for the Trot Up. It is going to be live streamed at 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 6th of May. And this is a Trot Up like you've never seen it before. From all of us, goodbye.